Being alert and watchful is the essence of meditation. Normally, when we are not alert, the unconscious patterns rise up and we identify as me with that, and that is how we get caught in the image of somebody. The image can be any image that is stored in the memory that pulls us towards identification. So, meditation is nothing but being alert and watchful. When we are alert and watchful, it's important to recognize that there is nobody who is alert and watchful, there is just alertful watching. It is only preferences, likes, dislikes, choice, all of that comes forth in the form of me. When we simply watch what is, then there is just watching. There is nobody as the watcher. So we don't have to get caught in any mentation about who is watching and finding out the watcher, because all that might take us away from again the simple alert presence into mental activity, trying to understand, and so on. See, when we see something, for instance, just the act of seeing, there is nobody seeing, there is just the eyes seeing. The entire physiology of vision happens. We say, I am seeing, but in reality, that's just a way of expressing in language. The seeing simply happens on its own through the intelligence of the body. And as long as I don't make any preference, the moment I like, dislike, I want more of something, I want less of something, that's when the me arises. The me is the psychological structure which is the images, the conditioning stored from the past, which is making choices. When there is no choice, there is no me. So to be choiceless is to be free of the me in any activity, inwardly. Outwardly, we can make choices as necessary, but inwardly, when anything rises, if we remain simply aware without making any choice, then that choiceless awareness is freedom from the me. So when we watch something, hear something, or we do something, when there is a voice in the head that rises, that comments on it, that likes it or dislikes it, that makes some opinion about it, or it brings forth any narrative that I am not going to get this, or that I need to go back to something else, or it wants to take the crutch of something that's already known, or it wants to try different things, it wants to experience something. All of these come forth as voices in the head. And when any such voice is coming forth, if we identify with it, then that becomes the me. And that's why many times we say, I feel this way, I feel that way, and so on. But the simple art of watching it without identifying with it is freedom from it. And when we watch it without identifying from it, whatever it can be, it has no power because there is no identification. There is just a choiceless watching of it. Just as a flower blooming in the garden, if we watch it, just watching of the cloud in the sky, watching of a child walking. Similarly, we can watch any thought rising within. Then the thought is no more our thought, then the cloud is our cloud or the flower is our flower. It is all just phenomena of nature, the power of Prakriti which is coming forth in all these ways. So, the simple art of watching is to not identify, not even ask who is watching, just simply be aware of it. And when we are still in this way, without any preference, without any choice, then the very watching dissolves it because we are not identified with it. Then that very watching dissolves it, and what remains is stillness. So, the simple way to be still requires tremendous alertness, though. That is why simple is not necessarily easy, only because our conditioning is to constantly identify with what rises as me and mine. So, here the only invitation is to see things as they are without identifying as me or mine. When we just watch what rises, then we will see that we can watch what rises with curiosity without any psychological investment in it. And then we can read this voice of this me trying to come forth, but not getting any ground because it's just simply being watched. And it can come in many ways. There are so many ways in which it comes. It has many tricks, but the only essence that undoes all the tricks is just watching it. When we watch it, there is nobody watching. It has to be very clear that I am not trying to watch the thoughts or watch the me. There is just watching. Because the moment I am trying to watch, then I is again an image which likes a certain thought, doesn't like a certain thought, it prefers something, it judges, all of that comes forth. Free of all of that is pure watching, where there is no me watching, there is just watching. When we simply watch in this way with great alertness, then there is freedom right then and there. We don't have to look for freedom through this activity. This very watching is freedom because there is nothing that can stick to the watching when there is alert attention without any identification. And to sit in this way, to watch is meditation. To act in this way is also meditation. When we are acting in any way, when we are engaged in the day's activities, whatever rises within can be simply watched without any unconscious identification. And such watching is to live in meditation throughout the day. So when we sit here too, we are not trying to do anything, but just sit and watch. And there is great joy in it. There is great freedom in it because it doesn't matter what rises. We are just clear in watching it without any identification, but with great alertness. And that very perception, very watching, drops it. Instantly it is dropped, and then there is stillness. If in that ground of stillness something else comes up, it is again watched and it is dropped. And when there is nothing rising, there is just stillness. And that stillness can be with eyes closed or with eyes open. It can be when we are sitting silently or when we are acting, when we are doing things. But the essence is to remain in this stillness through alert, choiceless attention.